On Asaase Radio, the voice of our land. Straight, let's step into reggae exclusives. Everybody calm down. Calm down now. Calm down. Calm down. Everything good. Let's go to America and deal with Mr. Bayomi Mior, aka Octane. Ladies and gentlemen, he was born in Clarendon, a parish in Jamaica. You know, when you talk about Clarendon, same place Kokoti come from, same place Uncle Freddie come from. Matter of fact, Clarendon, you know, has a breed of talented reggae artists. And then when I was going through my things and I realized that Octane, you know, is also from Clarendon, I'm like, boy, that is why. No question. Let's go online and talk to Mr. Octane. Mr. Octane, how are you doing?
King Lagazee.
Pop.
Greatest.
Respect.
Well, yeah, man, big up yourself, man. Big up yourself, more life, more prosperity, man. And big up the whole entire team in the studio, you know what I mean? Big up the whole of Ghana, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
With their alive and living colors, you know?
We give thanks. Yo, listen to me. Looking at you right now, it's like you have lost a couple of pounds and you look you look fit, you look slim, you look sexy. You know, what is the eye secret? Hot Ras, talk to me.
Hot Ras, ladies there, you know?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, where I go? Well, first and foremost, you have to just give thanks to life. First and foremost, you have to have the Almighty in your life, God Himself, you know? And then the choices of food and, you know what I mean, what you really want to do with your life, because life in flesh have an expiry date.
Yeah.
You know, every single individual have an expiry date. One day, you know, it's going to be your time when you exit this world. Exit this world in terms of flesh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the more protective you are and the more caring you are for your body. Just like if you have a glasses like this, or you have a car, you take care of it, you service it. You have the glasses, you take care of it. You know what I mean? You have a shoes, you take care of it. You have it longer. So that is how you think about your body, you know? What you put in your body, you know, exercise, you know, stay spiritual, connect with the universe, connect with the creator. You know what I mean? And always have positive thoughts that comes to your mind, because the more negative thoughts, the older you look, the older you become. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So you can reverse age in terms of how you project your energy and how you carry your body.
All right. So
you know, people see me and say, yo, you like your age in the opposite way instead of going up.
Definitely. Listen, looking at some of your old pictures, and I'm like, boy, look like, you know, those days Octane and my size, you know, is the same.
Yeah.
You understand me? So I need to follow the eye footsteps and also reduce at least belly fat, and you understand me, and all these things. Now,
yeah, man, because I was like 256 pounds and then I lose like 100 and something pounds in like less than 8 months, 9 months, you know. So I just changed my diet totally and cut off a lot of things that is not good for my body. You know, and the older you get, your metabolism slow down as a human being. Because when you was a child, you're more active, you know. And then Lagazee, your type of work and my type of work, it don't give us space to do a lot of things like when I was a child, you know, run up and down, playing soccer, football, you know, just sitting down all day, more energetic, up and down with our friends, river, you know, we go to the, you know, run in the bushes, shoes, bird, all these things. So you're burning calories, you're burning that energy. But, you know what I mean, while you get more famous, you know, and more, you know, as it become more older as a human being, then your metabolism slow down because you have more responsibility. It's like a priority list occupied with more things different from you. You know what I mean? You have to go to work, you have to take care of family, you have to take care of your friends, them just a surrounding it, and you don't care about you. You know what I mean? You have a lot of different things on the table now. When you was a child, you never have a car for yourself, you never have a house for yourself. When you was a child, you wasn't playing the role of an adult. You never have a lot of responsibility in terms of, own bills, all these things. And a lot of child grow up that way from tender age you become an adult, but it wasn't supposed to be like that. It's just the algorithm of the world and how the system set.
Yeah.
But, right now we have more responsibility, so you have to make sure that you put yourself on the priority list because, Lagazee, you have to kind of cut down the belly a little,
Easy.
Easy.
You're right, man. I go and follow it up because, listen to me, man. Early this morning, my producer, Empress Debbie, was moving through the pictures, and then she was telling me that, yo, Lagazee, so Octane used to be huge like this? And I'm like, yeah.
Yes, man.
now he's hot Ras. You understand? The hottest commodity on the market right now.
yes.
Yeah, man.
Because and I did this transition live where I can inspire a lot of people, and I inspire a lot of people. Look at this picture and the screen.
Yeah.
I was 3 times. Now I'm like 2 times, 3 times this size.
Definitely.
So I did this transition on the screen. Like every single day when I started, I go live, I show people how to do it, and it's just a process, you know what I mean? If you have 100 steps and you make 2 steps today, you only have 98 left, And you take a next 2 steps, you only have 94, and you take a next 5 steps, you know what I mean? You only have 91 steps left. So consistency, change perspective.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And always remember that things that is sweet to the mouth is bitter to the belly.
Yeah.
And thing that is bitter to the mouth is more important, is more imperative to the belly. So a lot of things that we consume as human beings is not necessarily good for us. That's why as we reach age 40 or age 35, we start to have diseases, cancer, all these things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
High blood pressure, all these things, because the type of food that we're consuming. But you're in the motherland right now where you have all the herbs, all the natural herbs. So we have to go back to natural herbs. I know people in Jamaica and herbalists who is like 125 years, 102 years, 110 years right now. And they look younger than me and fitter than me.
Wow.
Because they feed on the herbs. That's the herbs, Instead I get up and eat chicken and rice and flour and bun and bread and all these things, These people feed on natural food, alkaline water, natural food, celery, kale, do a lot of juicing, you know what I mean? Ginger, turmeric. Turmeric is very imperative, charcoal, all of these things, the fruits, papaya seed, all of these things have different minerals and different things that is very imperative to the body.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, remember one thing, even if you forget about everything that Octane just said, he said, what is sweeter to the mouth is bitter to the belly. And what is bitter to the mouth is sweeter to the belly. So remember these things and work with it. You understand me? And from today onwards, I'm start going live also. And
yes, Lagazee, because remember, you're from Ghana, and Ghana is very impactful in terms of a nation. We're all Africans. Once you're black, we're all Africans.
Definitely.
Because slavery bring us across the world and divide us. We all know that.
Definitely.
But Ghana bring a different energy to the world in terms of that energy that Ghana push.
Yeah.
Including the I self.
Yeah.
So once you start to do this live, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can impact a lot of people. Plus you can monetize your content too.
Definitely. You're right.
Plus you can monetize your content and become beneficial from it in terms of from a financial perspective.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you can monetize your content, and a lot of people will inspire a lot of people, because surgery isn't the way.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Surgery isn't the way. The natural way is the way, because the natural way cut a lot of toxin from your body. All of these toxin that we put. And when we say sweet to the mouth, when you went to a store and you buy a sweetie, or you buy something that is sweet, your taste buds jump for joy like, yeah.
Yeah.
But after you consume that, it spike your blood sugar.
Yeah.
And those things, what your body do biologically, when you eat anything that is sugar content, your body expect for you to burn it off in terms of activity. But when you don't burn it off as activity, your body store it as fat. Because your body always store it as fat, because eventually your body think that you're going to convert that fat back into energy. But you don't work out. You don't run. You don't do no cardio. You don't do none of these things. So your body continues storing these things as fat, thinking that one day you're going to convert it back in energy, which you didn't. So this is why you have so much, all of these things, you know what I mean? And then you don't have the herbs that is clean, that detoxing you, because detoxing is very imperative. You have to detox your body.
Definitely.
Just like, just for example, layman term, just like a car. You have a car, you have to take it to the mechanic and bleed out the bad oil from it and put new oil.
Definitely.
You can't just throw new engine oil in that old oil. You have to bleed out that oil.
Definitely.
And then put new engine oil. So it's just like your body, you have to, you know?
Yeah, man. Definitely. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest is the one near my Octane,
Easy.
Clarendon born. And trust me, we're talking to him all the way from the US of A. Now, ladies and gentlemen, and I would like to inform iOctane about this. We're live on 99.5 in Accra. And also we're live on 98.5 in Kumasi, Ashanti region. We're live also on 100.3 in Cape Coast, where the slave dungeon is. And we're live on 99.7 in the northern region of Ghana. You understand me? Asaase Radio, we are nationwide. And over 38 million people are listening to the show right now in Ghana.
Easy.
Yo, big up everybody, 38 million, big up everybody we are listening to the thing now.
You understand me?
To them Lagazee.
Yo, Octane, and by far, we are the biggest platform in the whole of Africa. You understand me? Yeah, man. And that
all right,
is...
give thanks, man, and give thanks to everybody in the studio, give thanks to the station, give thanks to Lagazee, and I mean, Lagazee, you have done a tremendous work over the years by connecting artists like me and a lot of other artists and artists from Ghana, you know what I mean, all both. It's like an ambassador. It's not like an ambassador. You're an ambassador for this thing where, because a lot of people in Ghana is doing great, you know.
Yeah.
But a man with the knowledge and don't share the knowledge, you and the knowledge, you useless.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? And knowledge always to bring bridges and connect each other globally as a nation, especially when you're a black person, you know, globally as a nation. So this is very imperative, because Lagazee, I'm telling you, I don't wake up this early in the morning, but that's why you.
I know, Hot Ras.
Lagazee.
Yo, salute. Now, Octane, because the whole of Africa and the whole and a lot of people are listening to you, I would like us to take it from the basics. You were born in Clarendon. You know, how did you grow up? Was it Chachika? Was it Rastafari? How did reggae music step in for you? You know, let us know the iOctane story from Clarendon.
Well, I was born in Clarendon. And as we mentioned, a lot of great artists come from Clarendon. A lot of great artists. Clarendon produced some of the greatest artists in you know, who contribute to a lot to our reggae music and dancehall music. You know what I mean? So, I was born in Clarendon, grew up as a very poor person. You know what I mean? My mom and 5 of us. You know, so we grew in tenement yard, like single mom. We grew in this big yard where you have different houses in the homes, you know. So we share homes with other tenants, you know what I mean? And we grew up this way and very poor. My mother, street side vendor, like selling the market, just like how you see a lot of people selling in the market now. You know what I mean? And we grew up this way, very poor, but very connected, very family oriented. We were so poor, but how we grew up with we not even did realize how poor it was. Because it was so connected in terms of the natural habitat, the natural environment, and we always, connected with family and try to just alleviate ourselves from the things that occurs around us, the current situation that we're in. But for me, growing up that way, I always use music to alleviate myself from things that, I see around us. And as a child, you feel like, I should be a privileged child because you have other kids growing up around you who more, fortunate than you. So it's always a reminder to show you that you don't have these things, like you don't have the good clothes, then you don't have the bags, the books, the food, the houses, you don't have these things. And you have your friends them who you grew up with, who their parents is more progressive, is more solid financially. So it's always a reminder how poor you are. So a lot of my friends growing up in the community turn to crime and violence or become a product of their environment, But I decided that, something great instilled in me now. So always I use music to sing, to when I walk into school in the sun and the sun burning, I just start to sing some songs and it just bring my mind way out. Like I forget about walking in the sun, when I'm in classes in school, always knocking the decks, them being the person who doing the penny concert. I just always find myself doing music. Even before I knew that I'm going to pursue a career in music, I just always find it, when I recollect, looking back, I always finding myself doing music. So that is where the music, I think the music chose me. And in terms of culture, in terms of levity, in terms of religion, I think the type of music that I start off with and how the type of life that I start off with, that embedded, that rootical, I wasn't even doing it for the religious side of Rastafari, because I was doing it for, just like what I'm telling you, so Lagazee, they need to just go viral doing this weight loss thing and inspire a lot of people. I was doing it because I was coming from this rough life. And I want to inspire youth around the world that, from I make it, you can make it. You understand what I'm saying? So this is where, this is the perspective that I was doing it from. And then along the way, this type of message and how spiritual the message was, it embedded this Rastafari movements, this, one life, levity, upliftment of the youth's their mind globally and locally. And this is how that embedded in me along the journey. But my main objective at the initial stage was to just inspire a lot of youth, because I know that I was born in poverty because of the fault of where my generation coming from. So I make it a point of duty to use my time, especially at a young age, to inspire a lot of young youths around me, because I see a lot of young youths go down the wrong road. So I was there that, telling the youths them that all of these things, we can avoid all of these things. I was always telling my friend them, if it was me alone, jail wouldn't exist, prison wouldn't exist. We wouldn't need police, we wouldn't need soldier, we wouldn't need laws and regulation, because laws and rules and regulation was created by the next human being. And everything is a chain link. The system need criminals to activate the laws of the police and the laws of soldiers and this. You know what I mean? You have to, the system have to create less fortunate people with less resources. So they create these places that a lot of people live in, more than the place is overpopulated and less resources is there. But more option to create crime and violence. A lot of youth is going to create crime and violence because these things was created this way for you to fail. So I was always the one who teaching the youths these things like, yo, these things was really put in place for us to fail because look at us. I can remember 5 of us growing up, 5 of us every day. We're it's not my blood brothers and sisters, but it's like my brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm.
But we cannot buy food. We cannot buy food. We don't have no clothes. We can't buy food. But yet still we have a gun. How we end up with a gun, but we cannot buy food.
Mm-hmm.
We can't buy clothes.
Mm-hmm.
We can't buy a proper shoes.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But how we end up with a gun with so much thousands of dollars?
Mm-hmm.
What we're gonna use this gun do? We're gonna use this gun rob, steal, and then sometime when you go and rob, you never go to execute a person, but something happened that you have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what happening. You know, you can't buy food. Not even the bullets them in the gun you can't afford. But how you have a loaded gun but you cannot buy food. But yet still you're dying for hunger. You're not gonna have a loaded gun and dying for hunger. You're gonna steal for it.
Yeah. You're right.
So this is the situation that we're coming from and me coming from. So I always use music to alleviate myself from stress. And then when I leave school now, high school, I decide that, you know what? My friends in my community decide that, yo, you need to do music. Let us do these type of activities. You're not supposed to be a part of these activities. So you need to do music. So I just took the idea and I just continue to do music till, you know, I get my first hit song at a very tender age, and then I just continue, and this is the result today.
All right.
To the creator.
Octane, you were supposed to be a great architect. So why did you leave that and focus on music?
Because my mom is 5 of us and it was she alone. And she was always telling us that education is very important. You don't have money, but if you have a vast capacity, then trust me, your life will be a better life if you're knowledgeable enough and have the qualification of this world today. You have to qualify to survive in this world. But I was always a non-traditional kid. You know, I never going to school. Very, very talented, I was always an A student, honor roll student, everything, you know, very bright in school, A student, honor roll student, but I never see myself doing a traditional job like being a doctor, a lawyer, police, or none of these traditional jobs. I always seen myself doing a non-traditional job like what you're doing now, what I'm doing now, you know, something that is non-traditional. So, you know, going to school, my mom was always instilling how important education is. So that was her dream for me to become a lawyer or a doctor. So I just excel in school and I did that, and I have the qualification to become, I can even continue that education now and becomes a world-renowned architect because I also have all the qualification. All of those continue. The 2 more years in college or the 3 more years, and then I have the official. I've been official certified, but that wasn't my calling. I could be great in something because a lot of people out there is great in something, but it's not their true calling.
Yeah.
So that it wasn't my true calling. And I just want to take shame face of my mother journey. But then I decided that I want to do music along while I was doing the architecting, and then the music becomes that forefront runner. And I was like, you know what? This is what I want to do, and let's continue doing it.
All right. 45 minutes going into the R2 here on Asaase Radio, the voice of our land. Our guest is the one named Octane. Now, Octane, talk to me about the transition from Richie Rich to Octane.
Asaase Radio, Lagazee of the real question them.
See it.
Yo, so everybody know that, especially in our community, everybody know that when you grow up in a community, people in Ghana know that. You know that Lagazee said. You wasn't this Lagazee when you started.
Of course.
Everybody have a community name. Either your name Blacks or Rich or people always have a community name for you.
Definitely.
But even when I was back then, even when I was the poorest child, I always tried to present myself as the richest child.
You don't see it.
Easy.
Yes, always, I have my one shirt, I always wash it every single day. My one pants, I wash it every single day, put it on the outside to dry, wait till it dry, press it. I used to have this pressing iron where I put fire coal in it.
Yeah.
It wasn't plugged in like electrical iron.
Yeah, I know that.
Just put the
box iron.
Fire coal in it. Yes, and rub it off and press my clothes. So every single day there was like, yo, this bro is sharp. You know what I mean? Yeah, I carry myself and present myself and bathe like 2-3 times a day and keep myself clean and so I always present myself as this person. It was like, yo, this guy is Rich, you know what I mean? They always calling me Rich. So I was using that community name. So I was just using that community name, recording songs in that name. And then now, when I get the break and went to Penthouse Recording Company, Donovan Jermaine, I met Donovan Jermaine. I was managed by Terrence McDonald at the time. And he pushed till I meet Marcia Simpson, and Marcia Simpson introduced me to Donovan Jermaine. And Donovan Jermaine was like, yo, boy, your talent, he's a very talented artist, and I don't think I want to use that name, but continue using it, but you have to find a different name. And that is where the name change comes about, where, I start to look into different names, me and the engineer at the time, Bones. So one day we went through the dictionary and pounced upon the word Octane, and I said, yo, this is it. When I read the definition for Octane, it means high energy, high performance. I was like, yo, this describes my character. So I just add the I to it. But Richie Rich was a community name because I could play football, which is, they say, is soccer. I was great at that. You know what I mean? I was multi-talented. I could be an architect. I could be a soccer player, a football player. I could do track and field. I was just very athletic and very spontaneous. I was just that type of child growing up. You know what I mean? So anything with activity, I will always excel in that. So that is how the name Richie Rich comes about, and that is how I made the transition from Richie Rich to Octane.
Wow, this is beautiful story, man. I quite remember those days they used to call me Holy Sinner.
All right, holy what?
Holy Sinner.
Holy Sinner.
Yeah, man.
Yes. So, and you make the transition to Lagazee now.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
So everybody have a community name.
Definitely, man. Because around them time there, I was the quiet among all the people them, but I was the hot stepper. You understand me? You know?
Welcome on stage, Holy Sinner, aka Lagazee.
Yeah, man. So Octane, talk to me now. When did the break step in for you?
When so I went to Penthouse Recording Company, and I was voicing. So what Penthouse did for me is to develop my vocal skills, because I grew in the countryside. Penthouse is in the Kingston side, right? So Donovan Jermaine was always giving me the studio to use. Like, I have this big multi-million-dollar studio at my disposal. So me and him also assign an engineer to me.
Okay.
So every day I leave Clarendon. Sometimes I don't even have fare. Sometimes I just beg a drive from Clarendon, and taxi, bus, taxi, minibus. These people cost me every day. Like, yo, every day you come on my bus without money.
Oh, yeah.
Come off my bus. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
sometimes them cuss me, but them know that I'm going to studio. Say they would cuss me. I say, wait till the bus load. Wait till the bus full. And they will put me on the bus step. I say, stand up on the bus step and we'll drive from Clarendon to Kingston, and the step of the bus are, stand up because they need the seat to make money.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have any fear at sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I wasn't looking at it as disrespect. I was just looking at it from moving from point A to point B.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So, that's why I always tell people that you flying first class or flying coach on a plane, it's just big difference in terms of perspective. Because anyway you take it, the plane is gonna go the same place. You're all gonna land the same place.
Of course.
And you're all gonna reach the same time.
Yeah.
They might come off the plane a little bit different from my time. It's no different because if the plane should go down, you should have a plane crash.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like people in first class is gonna save and people in the coach is not gonna. Every single person is gonna experience that crash.
Yeah.
So it's just how you look on things. And I was looking at it like, even though they're cussing me, but they're still giving me the opportunity
Mm-hmm.
to move from point A to point B.
Mm-hmm.
So Donovan Jeremy gave me the studio to use. So I was always developing my talent because at the time Izan was full. My Bujo working with,
Mm-hmm.
long before Bujo being incarcerated, and
Mm-hmm.
you have Asaase, at the time Asaase converted to Agent Sasko,
Mm-hmm.
Sprague Benz, Marcia Griffiths, Tanya Stick, Nadine Salat, you have whole heap of top artists
Yeah.
that he's working with. And these are the name pullers of the company.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just there as a young youth, 13, 14,
Mm-hmm.
in the studio and still getting chance to record.
Wow.
Yeah, man, the first song I did for Pentos was me, Asaase, Beres, and Bujo. And I was the last verse on that song. If you listen to that song, at the end of that song, I am the last 8 bars. So people don't play that song to the end.
Wow.
Yeah, people don't play that song until the end. So I was the last verse on that song. But my name was on that record. So everywhere I go, I carry that record with me and tell people, say, this is me, look at me right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
In the name of Richie Rich, because this is Beres, this is Bujo, this is Asaase. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
All if they do play the whole entire song and play my verse, my name is on that song.
Of
and
course.
my voice is on that song. So that was a great accomplishment. But then now I find out that me have the talent for boss now.
Mm-hmm.
But Donovan Jeremy never have the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I leave Pentos and I went to Arrows
Mm-hmm.
recording company. And that is where I get my first hit song. Sell out the ghetto youths dead. So what me do? Stamp vampire with a pack. And from that, things start to accelerate,
Yeah. Yeah. Now, talk to me about this. It doesn't happen in our space, but we would like to celebrate High Octane on this. Looking into High Octane being an original and typical reggae dancehall artist.
Mm-hmm.
How many companies were you signed to in terms of being a brand ambassador those days in Jamaica? How many companies? Let us celebrate you on that, Octane, to the glory of God.
Give thanks to that, because a lot of people overlook. A lot of people overlook, especially Jamaicans, media,
Mm-hmm.
Jamaica, the people them in Jamaica, Jamaican media, a lot of people don't play my greatness and overlook how great I am
Mm-hmm.
and what I have done for the music over the last 20 something years.
Mm-hmm.
All right, first, I started very young. My first hit song, I was like 15, 16.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get no credit for that, Mm-hmm. And then now I see new artists now establishing their first songs at 18, 19, and they praise them for that. Like, yo, this person is like 18, 19, and have their first hit song. I was like 15, 16 with my first hit song.
Yeah.
Saying I am the only and the first artist that break by myself.
Mm-hmm.
When I was coming through, you have to affiliate yourself with a camp
Mm-hmm.
to become an established artist. I didn't inherit no fans.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was about to get established, you have to.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way you can break without affiliated with a camp or somebody that is powerful in the business.
Mm-hmm.
So is either you're affiliated with Judgment Yard,
Mm-hmm.
David House,
Mm-hmm.
Alliance,
Mm-hmm.
Fifth Element,
Mm-hmm.
just a camp.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen McGregor, Dan Conley, you have to into a camp. You understand?
Yeah.
And then this person, Octane, just emerge from out of nowhere.
Nowhere.
Like, who is this person? Like, how nobody can claim his existence? Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because as great as you see a lot of artists is today, there's somebody that put them on.
Of course.
But there's nobody to claim that for me. Because what happened to me now, when I was just starting in the initial stage, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've circled all of these places and they turned me down. Like, if I go to this place, they was like, nah, you're not rutical enough. No, your voice not rough enough. No, you sing too much. No, you're not singing properly. So that's why my first set of songs, I am the only person on the rhythm.
Wow.
Because I started to do the non-traditional things where I just find some non-producers. After I leave Arrows, after I voice for Arrows, I start to voice some non-producers that nobody knew. And then, you know, people like Sure Jam, Portmore, you know what I mean? I voice for a lot of producers that nobody knew. But what I did after I hustle in the street, I burned my own CDs. So I become my own promoter. So I burned my own CD and I started, spread my music amongst the people because I'm from the streets. I would go in the market and just give her 100 CD. And then I go into the next market and give her 100 CD and give her 100 CD. So I become that bootleg artist where every single person listening in the street, but I'm not really playing on the radio.
Wow.
So when you turn on the radio, you're not hearing it. Cut and clear. Judgment. Yeah. So when you play in the radio, turn on, you're not really hearing me at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go in the street, you're hearing me. Hot a fire burning.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Me know where them I feel all of these things where you them, you know what I mean? You know all of the upliftment songs. I think them sin of blood around all of these songs. Hello, they get people I hear them song and I say, whoosh you this? Who is this? People to compare me with Sizzler, like, yo, this is the new Sizzler. Yo, who is this youth?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, so that is where I look into it and say, all right, then I gotta interject myself right here because I don't have the resources to do these things, so I'm gonna do it. So I don't get a lot of credit for that.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I say I don't get a lot of credit for that, I am the person who break that narrative that you have to align yourself with
Somebody. A camp or somebody. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Because before me, you have to align yourself to a camp. And that bring me up to even Gaza and Gully where I am the person who break that cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Where you don't have to affiliate yourself with a camp. So a lot of artists after that cycle now took that blueprint and say, oh, I'm on my own. Mm-hmm. I'm doing this. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So you find out a lot of artists, you know, take that, but they're not giving me the credit, but they take that and say, all right, then I don't want to par with this artist or sign by this artist. I can do this thing by myself and respect each artist.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because even through that Gaza and Gully, I am one of the only new artists at the time who could see Movada. and will a vibe with him. And nobody around him violated me. And I could see Cartel and do the same thing. And each side respect me. You know what I mean?
Wow.
I used to have this person named Mikey Pelp at the time. So this is 3 different camp that is who want to be the dominant camp at the time. So I could, check any one of them and just hold a vibe with them. And everybody was like, yo, you are my singer. Mofada is saying me, Octane is his singer. Cartel is saying Octane, Mikey Pell. So just because nobody can claim me, so nobody have any writ against me, have any bad vibe against me. You understand? Because if I was stick to this camp, then I go to that camp, they would say, no, you don't pick your side already. So that is how I break that cycle. And then back to the corporate, back to the signing now. I signed like about 13, 14 corporate company.
Wow.
Easy.
Yes, my face is all about. Every billboard, my face is in the airport. When you land in the airport, the national airport in Jamaica, is me that is a station.
Hot Ross.
Like the government, you know. Yeah, man, and that is the next thing that I really bring to the forefront. Because as a Rasta youth, you never have Rastafari doing these things, because as a Rasta youth, growing up, I used to hear a lot of people say, Rasta people say, bun corporate people are bun this or bun plane and bun car and bun riches and bun big house and bun vanity and bun all of these things. And I was like, but yet still praise King Selassie. But I was like, but do you really study the philosophy of Selassie? If you study the philosophy of Selassie, you would never burn a car, you would never burn plane, you would never burn riches, you will never burn none of these things. You understand? Because a man with the knowledge, you need financial support, you need riches. Because it's biological warfare, physical warfare, and mind. It's a mind game thing. So you as a poor person without the financials bucketive, with the powerful message, you will never come across. If I sing 1 million songs and people in Ghana want to see me, how am I going to reach Ghana if I burn plane? Where am I going to walk? I can't walk. I have to fly up on a plane to come there, right?
Of course.
Yes, so when you really look upon it, it's like I see a lot of people contradicting themselves.
You're right.
You know, say burn riches, but you're driving a Benz and you live in a big house. You should live in a shack and be or using a donkey cart or something like that, or riding camels.
Easy.
You know what I mean? So that wasn't my philosophy. So a lot of people never take on to me because they say Octane method is different and that is not the method of Rastafari. But I said a lot of method that you using is stupid. That is not the method. That is just your personal perspective, and that is what you want to embed it in the people. So a lot of people in the Rasta community always having that debate, because that is not something that, even up to date, that is not something that I see myself embedded in people's mind, because that is stupidity. If you are telling people that wealth is not imperative, wealth is imperative. It's what you do with it. You understand?
You're right.
So, yes, it's what you do with it. So I look into the business, I know that, all right, I've never seen a youth with dreadlocks or a youth who said Rastafari ever embedded themselves with corporate company. So even when an artist has a bun corporate, but when you go to the stage shows them, you see every corporate banner in the stage show. You see all of the big entities have their product advertising. And then when I do the research, I find out that these products, these entities sponsor the show. So a lot of corporate company offset a lot of artists' costs. So I give you, Lagazee, 10 million Jamaican dollars to have the biggest banner in the stage show. You use that 10 million Jamaican dollars to pay 6 artists. You pay me and 5 other artists. So that product placement offset your costs. So they pay for the product placement, but you use that money to pay me to come and perform. So indirectly, the product pay me.
Definitely.
Because you're using their money. So I was like, no, I can't burn that company if I'm taking that money, even though I'm getting it through you. So that is like I'm playing a hypocrite role. You know what I mean? Yeah, because if the head of the stream dirty, down the stream I got dirty too. So that is how I look at it. And then I just go direct to corporate. I bring my brand direct to corporate. You know what I mean? And the type of songs that I was singing at the time, it family oriented, all of these things. So I bring ideas to them. Like, yo, you have this product. I could bring this product to the community this way. And I was like, yo, no, nobody come to me and put this together like this. So I bring ideas to them. And they said, yo, they could work this way.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And that is how I embedded myself in corporate. And then I see everybody doing it now.
Wow. Congratulations, Octane, because those days I used to see online, Octane, has been signed as the brand ambassador for this Digicel, this, that. And I'm like, whoa, you understand me? Like an original reggae, typical reggae dancehall artist that in Ghana.
It's never been done.
When you come to Ghana, they will say you are a purist. Oh, as for this person, he is a purist. It means you are 100% reggae dancehall artist. You don't mix up with side and side. You always stand by yourself alone. So I would like to say congratulations, for bringing that to light. And I think we must start look into some of these areas as, purist, in terms of reggae dancehall artists that we are. We must begin to look into that side alone. All right. Before we go into the album, God and I, the first sound system I ever heard playing your dub plate was Bass Odyssey by Squingy. I think...
yes, Squingy. Rest in peace.
Yes, rest in peace, Squingy. And the way he introduced the dub and played it, I forgotten the song, but... it was about some
at this song out of fire burning.
Yes.
Octane, see them sin of blood run. Yes, man.
I need to have that dub there. I need
think them sin a song out there.
Yo. And the
Lagazee, that's why I tell you, you need to send a next dub list so I can sing some more songs. Just tell me the song them that you want, man.
All right. Don't say a word,
man. So big up Bass Odyssey and big up Squingy, because Squingy is the person who really break my career in sound system.
Wow.
Yes, and I didn't get to tell him thanks in person.
Oh, God.
So Squingy is the reason why I deal with Bass Odyssey so good over the years.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Big up Damien. Big up everybody else to play on the sound.
Wow. So when I heard that, I'm like, Jesus Christ. Then quickly, man start follow the steps and, playing Octane, missing you.
Yeah, because Squingy used that song to win the clash.
Yes.
I think it was World Clash, because
World Clash,
everybody,
in the UK.
Yes, because that song was doing so well, right?
Yeah.
Remember in that song they mash up the place, but hear what? This is the disadvantage. Because everything have a pros and cons to it.
Yeah.
The disadvantage is that people don't understand how Octane just emerge on the scene like that.
All right.
So a lot of people don't understand it, and a lot of selectors and a lot of camp was affiliated to somebody. And then in Jamaica, dancehall diaspora and reggae diaspora is full of jealousy and covetous and hatred and all of these things. Even though people smile with you, then don't with you. I am an April born, I'm a Taurus. I can't do that pretending thing. So I stay by myself most of the time. I love and I coexist, but me just sitting down and then me and Lagazee sitting down and then the producer in the studio right now, as the producer leave out, me and you was like, yo, we started chat and say things bad behind the producer back. No, Lagazee, I'm not that type of person. I don't have the time for that. So true, I don't have the time for that. I don't really congregate a lot because most of who gather up together, this is what they do. They sit down and they congregate about people and they bring down people, and I want to continue to speak positive things over myself and over others. I can't put myself in that situation where I continue dragging down people verbally, because word is powerful. So so Squingy, a lot of people never understand, so they didn't want to voice the dub. So Squingy basically say, Damien basically come to town and they voice the song and the dub plate. A matter of fact, I did it free.
Wow.
I did it free, of course.
Wow.
They was like, yo, voice that song, they were going to play it in a World Clash. I said, World Clash? No, stop. We don't want the money. And then everybody play every dub to the last clash, and Squingy said, "Una idiot, man." Me gonna play everything for the whole entire night, but I don't play this.
Yes.
So Squingy drop that thing, them sinners sound of them, yeah. Oh my God, man. The whole place.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, and that Squingy, basically say, and Squingy do that for me where up to today day, almost 20 years after, that is one of my most voice song and dub plates up to today.
Wow.
There's no dub plate program. If I do 10 dub plate session, trust me, I'm gonna voice that 8 times.
Wow. 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 Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to Octane, and trust me, it's been lovely. You understand me? Talking to Octane, and I have a bag of questions lined up, but listen, the main reason why he is here, we have to touch that. You understand me? That is God and I. You understand me? I even read, on the internet that at a point in time, he going for an interview because of this particular same, album. There was a fatal accident on the road. You understand me? So naming this particular album, God and I, means a lot to Octane. And the most lovable thing about it that I am loving now is when the album rose to #1 on iTunes before Bob Marley came back to kick him up to #3. And I'm like, warm to Bob.
Bob Marley. Yeah, man, this album is a great album. You know what I mean? This album means so much to me in terms of even the word, even the title, God and I.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This album was blessed by the Almighty himself, God himself, because this album really speaks a different volume for me in terms of where I was at the time, mentally, spiritually, and physically. Because yes, you're famous, yes, people see you as a superstar, but behind that Lagazee brand, you have that person that is you're looking at right now that is doing the interview.
Yeah.
People don't feel like artists or presenters or selectors or DJs. We that always in the spotlight, they think we're a robot. They don't think that we have feelings. Our feelings don't really count. So I've been through a lot of things, being this person where this journey that the Almighty give me to this road on my journey to walk on is totally different from a lot of artists out there, because I've been scrutinized for my greatness. I can't fathom it sometimes. I can't understand it sometimes. People cuss me daily because of my greatness. So, because I'm talented, because I do a lot of different things, people don't like it. I can't understand it. No time at all. If you don't do it, they say that you're a cruff. You're non-progressive. And if you're over progressive, them still have a problem with it. I don't know. So I just continue to do what I have to do without seeking validation from an individual.
Mm-hmm.
If you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, you just don't like it, because it don't make no sense, because anyway you take it, still boil down back to feelings. So this album, God and I know, because I've always been an independent artist over the last over years. Independent. Me, very independent. I have my team that I work with, and I've never been signed to no record deal, like no record company. So if I make $10, I spend $8 out of my pocket and my career over the last 20 years. So I'm always the one that is offsetting my costs. So if I have 10 videos and you see 10 videos, trust me, may have something to do with it. My money out of my pocket, invest in it. You understand? And if the producers chip in and do half and half or so, but my money invest in like all of my majority of the money that I make, I invest it back in my career. Like, yeah, I could have buy this, I could have buy that, but instead of buy this, I just invest it back my career. So these are the things that I've been doing over the last couple of years, and then now along the way, I help a lot of people along the way in terms of producers, selectors, DJs, videographers, promoters, all of these people. And then I realized that when the producers them become established and I run the place, them stop voice me. They don't want to put me on the rhythms them anymore. And then now you have all promoters. When they're just doing their first show, Octane, please, I'm begging you, just give me a chance, man. Do the show for me. I don't have the money to pay, but please. And then you go and use a kind heart and say, all right, then do it. And then that show become the biggest show now. I was like, yo, I don't think I want to book Octane, because I don't think no space is on the show for him. So people forget things that you do for them.
Mm-hmm.
And when they're supposed to do it back for you, it's like them have short-term memory. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I just decided, you know what? At this moment, it's just God and I. So if I get 10 shows for the year, that is just 10 shows that God created for me, and that's the 10 shows I'm supposed to get. If I get 1, that's the 1 show. If I get 20, that's the 20 shows I'm supposed to get. What I don't get wasn't for me. So people always know that. What you don't get, it wasn't for you. Because anything that you're supposed to get, no man can stop you from getting it.
You're right.
They can try. But once it's ordained for you, no man can stop you from getting it. So that is the perspective, that is that is how I'm looking at things. So God and I is just an album where people can listen to, and a lot of people is going out there. A lot of people see people smile every day, but they don't know what people going through. So when you're going through these things and you feel all alone, just make sure you're all alone with the Creator, with God. You know what I mean? So this is how this concept comes about, where you hear these type of songs and how I bring them across, because at this point of life, I feel like majority of the time it's just me alone. Like, majority of the times, because people don't really like that anymore, and then people forget what you do. And if you stick in that era where, that I give Lagazee 20 dub plate free, and Lagazee not playing my new song, then I become bitter against you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I'm looking at, I give you 20 songs without charging, and now I have my new album and you're not playing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I develop this hatred for you because I said that you use me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But when you detach yourself from that now, you find out that life is a stages and evolution is everything.
Mm-hmm.
So you start to accept life as stages. Yes, everything grow, everything is different. Evolution is imperative, evolution is inevitable. So yes, me and Lagazee might not giving Lagazee dubs over the years, but a Lagazee time now forget 40 dub now.
You
So
know,
when Lagazee get theme dub, nobody complain because I used to give you dubs before Lagazee.
Of course.
You know what I mean? So I saw me start look on life and don't take anything personal, because human beings is just human beings, you know?
Definitely. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, we're reasoning with Octane, and right now we're talking about the brand new album God and I. And Joseph, if you can go online and look for the art cover and all these things and put it out so that people can see the art cover, how pretty it look and all these things, you understand me? Yeah, man. You know?
Yeah, man. 15 tracks, man. God and I is available on all digital platforms. So if you have an iPhone, you can buy it. You can go on iTunes store. Go in the iTunes store. Go in the App Store on the iPhone and type. You have an iPhone, you go in the App Store, type in. On the App Store and the iPhone, you type in iTunes Store, and then you go in the iTunes Store, type in Octane God and I.
Mm-hmm.
You see the album come up.
All right.
You can purchase it. It's also on YouTube, Octane TV. It's also on, you know, a lot of people use Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
Add it to your playlist, Apple Music. God and I, add it to your playlist. Deezer, add it to your playlist. Tidal, Audio Mac. It's available every single where, whichever way you want to utilize. If you want to buy a copy or if you don't want to stream a copy, it's there. Android phone is the same thing. Amazon Music. You know what I mean? So just subscribe, do everything. It's 15 tracks. I'm gonna give you 15 videos.
Wow.
See the cover there. See Lagazee. See, put up the cover there. Yes.
Yeah, man.
You understand? Two collaboration. Octane and Shano. Opportunist and Octane and Version.
Life is a blessing.
Life is a blessing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. So, trust me, it's a beautiful album, and as well, Lagazee say, it debuted on the chart and then it went #1.
Yeah.
Bob Marley take back the #1 spot, then we reclaim back the #1 spot, and then Bob Marley take back the #1 spot, and then I reclaim back the #1 spot. So I went to #1 3 times on this chart.
Wow.
I also went #8 on the hip hop / rap chart, because this album was released as a rap album also. I don't know what happened in the system, but it also released as a rap album. So on the hip hop chart, it also went #8 in the top 10.
Wow.
On the hip hop chart.
Wow.
Only reggae album ever do that.
Wow.
There's no other album ever do that. It went #8 and then. So when you look in the chart, you see Drake, Nicki Minaj, Kendrick Lamar, all of these people.
Yeah.
And then Octane was #8 in that top 10 chart. So give thanks to that. I went #1 on Amazon Music. You know, so I think I'm #1 on Amazon Music currently.
Yeah.
And then currently I just checked the chart. I'm back. I was at #3, so I'm back at #2 right now. So it's Bob Marley Me. Then you have the rest of the albums, you know. So
Definitely.
This album is doing fantastic. The video, me and Shano Opportunity, is almost 4 million views in 2 months.
Wow.
Organic views. I'm doing this interview today, so
wow.
I just flew back from New York yesterday to Miami, so I'm in Miami now.
Wow.
Right, and I'm gonna shoot 2 videos. So I'm here to shoot 2 videos. I'm shooting Powerful Story and also Walk with a Chip. So I'm doing these 2 videos this week. So that is why I'm here.
All right.
You know, yes.
So Octane, looking at how God and I is doing good on the chart right now, you know, claiming #1 and all these things and all that. Talk to me. Are we hopeful for the Grammys?
Yeah, man. Oh, we need to have all the great accomplishments then, because we're doing it. Even though these things are created by human beings, and the ceiling for music is have no limit.
Mm-hmm.
Or the ceiling for a human existence have no limit.
Mm-hmm.
But these things is something, these platforms, these award shows, all of these things is created by just to appreciate your legacy, you know what I mean? Just appreciate bring some sense of purpose to the work that you put in.
Mm-hmm.
And this album deserve like 10 Grammys.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, I think this album is one of my best works so far.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
10 Grammys. And this album comes about when a lot of people is like, Octane, time for you to resign now, man. Yeah, man, leave the business, man. Your career done, man. Yeah, man, stop, man.
Yeah.
You can't find but no more hit song, man.
Mm-hmm.
Leave the music alone, man.
Yeah.
And these are people that don't even do music.
Mm-hmm.
But the internet is a place where everybody have a free will to say whatever they want to say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then when it's a public property, people say anything. People just come and advise their opinion. Sometimes this is how they feel about themselves and they try to project this energy on you.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So a lot of people were saying that, even in Jamaica, a lot of people were saying that, yo, Octane can't find but no more hit song. Octane career done. And then the Almighty bless him. Bam! #1.
Wow.
It was like, oh lie! How that happen?
Yeah, man.
You know why it happened? Them say, how that happen? Listen why it happened. You're not God.
Definitely.
Let me tell you why it happened. You're not God. You don't blow breath.
Definitely.
You don't have the power to tell a next man that he or her cannot excel.
Definitely.
You understand?
Definitely.
Yes.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest is the one named Octane. And my producer, Naro Bauer, is here. And he's telling me that, yo,
Naro Bauer.
Yeah, man, I have a question for, Octane. So I say, Naro, step in now.
Greetings, General. Yes, sir, greetings, General. How's vibes?
Naro, them for no say straight like arrow.
It seems like the eyeballs and vibes from Lagazee.
Yes, Naro. I go on, Naro.
Everything blessed, Leo. Hear me out. On the God and I album, you have a tune called The Opportunist, and it's produced by your daughter. She's 5 years young. She's been credited as the producer of the tune, right? And now she made a history of being the youngest producer in the history of reggae music.
With a classic hit song.
True. Please tell us more about the role she actually played with the production. With that particular tune.
This little girl now, which is my daughter, she's so active in music. Like, yeah, she love music. She like to, like act out, being in videos and not just being a video picker or a video girl. Like, really, really, have our own perspective of. Like, Dad, I think I should do this way, or you should sing it this way, or, this is the ideas that she come with. I said, Dad, you know that, I don't like that melody. I don't like that one. I like this one. I don't like how that one sound. And she always giving me ideas, like, so if me a drive and she in the back of the car and me I sing something, and then I might change the rhythm. I was like, no, that continue with that one. I like that one. That one can be a hit song. Just continue. Mm-hmm. So when she was like, all right then, our mom was like, I hear that you're doing a reggae album, so I want to produce a song on the album.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, send the rhythm. So when I send the rhythm now and I start to record and demo the song and send it back to her, like, listen to this. She in the background was like, yes, Dad, this is it. And I'm going to produce this one.
Wow.
So she been there, I create the music, and, she come to stage shows with me. I always want to come on stage, and she always there jumping and acting and busting blank for her father. And, you know what I mean? Go on with herself. And so she always active when it comes to music. And I'm glad that she chose this song. Because she have all type of different songs on the album, but she said this song is what she want to produce and she love it.
Okay.
And she like the message to it and what it mean and she loved to sing this type of song. Like the melody, the chorus is her favorite melody and things. So it's by right too. When your kids them want to do something like that, and it's a sense of, you know, happiness within yourself. You know that a child is so young, but they want to contribute to you as an individual, because she's contributing to you in terms of producing some of your songs at this tender age. Then eventually she's gonna turn out into this great producers or something great in the music, become this great entrepreneur, and maintain your last name, maintain your legacy. Because as long as she live, when she maintain this legacy, she'll always mean, yo, that's Octane daughter. That's the daughter of Octane, so my name still live on. You understand? Just like how you have, that's the son of Bob Marley.
True.
That's Bob Marley's son. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So this legacy lives on.
Wow.
Greatness. My last question to the eye. Just like I said earlier, you survived a fatal accident, and also the eye survived 2 kidney surgeries. You know, is that the reason that informed you to name the album God and I?
That is a part of it, because in the same process, before I was always like, a lot of people was always telling me that, yo, we need back a reggae album, or we need this type of music, but they don't support. You know, a lot of people, especially in our diaspora, I'm not talking about the outer world, because the outer world, including Africa, Ghana, all of these places in the world, Europe, all of these places support reggae music and dancehall music more than how we support it in Jamaica. You understand? So, reggae music don't play in Jamaica, especially reggae music. You have to go to the countryside, like the base of this and these people in the countryside, they will hear a few reggae songs. Or, you know, a few radio stations play reggae music, but it's not a dominant music anymore in dancehall like that. You don't hear reggae music like that when you're going to dancehall. They don't play it like that. So, before I started doing this music, before I started think about doing this album, I went through that where I have 2 major kidney surgery, like kidney explosion, and that could have cost my life. You know what I mean? So I've been in the hospital for a couple of days, and then I come back out of the hospital, start the album, and then, you know, do the album, finish the album, ready to promote the album, and then like 3 weeks, like I promote the album, start the album, put out the album, you know, because it's not like it's just a medical thing. I've been make up my mind to do this, but then now after that happened, doctor was like, yo, it's just the Almighty who save your life, because trust me, I have this kidney erupt, but I didn't want to go to doctor. I was like, yo, maybe it's gas pain or something like that. So I was being stubborn and staying home. So staying home now make it extra worse than, you know, make it extra worse. So it affect me more than how it's supposed to affect me. So I could lose my life in that process, but I didn't. The Almighty saved me. And then now, putting out the album, promoting the album, and the last 3 weeks ago now after the album, you know, I'm doing this pre-order thing, and I'm promoting the album and all of these things. That's all the song out with me and she, you know, then I think that was my left side, and my right side, I feel the same. Coming home from a performance, feeling good, you know, telling myself that I'm going to go live and talk to the fans, and then I feel that same sharp pain in my right side. It's like, no man, this pain is similar to the one that I have before, and I've been stubborn. So I decided that no, I'm not going to make that happen again. So rush to the hospital again, admit, been there for a while again, and I'm here today. I survived by the grace of God, so I give thanks to that. So that I even played out in the world, God and I, because when I was there in the hospital, I realized that, yo, if I was to go today, there's only me alone going.
Of course.
You understand?
Yeah.
If I was to go today, it's only me alone going. And if I was to go today, I tell myself that, yo, I don't think I do the enough work to even go to Zion or heaven. That's what human beings call heaven or Zion. So looking back on that hospital bed, I was like, yo, if me for dead today, you know, me on my way to hell, you know. And start like me I recollect and I say, yo, me really like this honor my purpose, like, you know, because I was really put here on earth to really do this work for the people and do this work for the Almighty and do this work. Yes, we're gonna sing music about party and girls and whining and gangster music. That is not it. I'm speaking about just being that person to really uplift the nation continuously. Don't care how hard it was or hard it gets. Because, you know, more time you're doing this, you get monotonous and get, you know, come like a bird. And worse when you're pushing the positive, pushing it, and the people not accepting it. So I decided that, yo, you know what? I'm not doing this for human beings anymore. I'm just doing this for the Creator. So on that day, you know, I make a void, like I promise to the Creator, like, listen, spare my life and I will always continue to glorify your name and continue to push the narrative of the Almighty and uplift some more youth and bring forth some more youth. So that is the deal that I make with the Creator. So I'm on that journey where I can't even fault that journey because it's not a human being. I make it to the Creator, and when the Creator, retribution is very detrimental when it comes to the Almighty reward, you know, with karma. Because the Almighty karma is not that, you know. The Almighty karma is sufferation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
yes, so I look upon it from that perspective, and I change my narrative from that perspective. So that is why I hear this type of energy in the album. So after the second attack, I decided that I'm gonna put some more energy on these words and these. Normally I would put out an album and then you hear 10 other different songs which is not on the album out already, and you know, cause we voice a lot. Either hear the album and hear 10 other singles and then the album and 15 other singles. Maybe have at least a next album out already. But I decided that I want to push this album to the full potential because I need people to hear these type of message that, you know, have the Almighty embedded in it.
All right. Wow.
True. Give thanks, back to Lagazee.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, my respect.
Yeah, man. Octane, trust me. May the Almighty bless you and continue to strengthen you. And I know that this album will go from strength to strength. You understand me? No wonder that anytime I come on the radio, Opportunist is my favorite, where may I lick it out and tell the opportunists them say, yo, oh no, lose me now. You understand? Your days are over. Your days are over.
Yeah, because when you're in the hospital, it really proved to me that people, if you cannot be used, you're useless, you know. But I find out that people will use you and 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 use you. Yeah. And any day you come to the realization that is what you're going through, and you put a stoppage to it, them same one will go around and spread that you're the worst person just because you're not available to be used anymore.
You're right.
You understand? So, back to what I'm saying. If you cannot be used, you're useless. But every single individual have 24 hours every single day.
Yeah.
Every day you get up, you have 24 hours to utilize every single day. So if I have 24 hours and Lagazee have 24 hours and the producer in the studio have 24 hours, and if I can use a minute out of Lagazee in 24 hours or a second or an hour or a day, how Lagazee want a minute a second, a day out of my 24 hours. And I cannot utilize nothing from your 24 hours. So that means that I have a priority list that I have you on, but you have a priority list that I'm not on. No, that not working in my book anymore. That not work. So if Lagazee is playing my music and introducing my album, it's by right that I wake up in the morning and give Lagazee an interview.
You're right, which is right.
Yes, because Lagazee is introducing your music to Ghana. And Ghana don't say, for instance, Ghana didn't know that they have a new album and it's breaking. There's so much people, 30 million people listening. Right? At least 10 people out of these millions of people that are listening is gonna subscribe to the music. So at least 10 new followers. I know that when I finish this interview, I'm gonna get a DM in my Instagram, real Octane.
Yeah.
Or Octane Atras, that Atras on TikTok. Somebody gonna take me, yo, great interview, bro. Listening and Lagazee. You understand?
Yeah,
somebody is gonna DM me and send me message from Ghana or anywhere in the world that is listening that, yo, bro, love the interview. And that person is gonna connect. So that's what I'm saying. If you're gonna promote something and get an artist to a certain level, why the artist think twice to give you a jobs or a jingles or a dub or do an interview to make you look good, because you're making that artist look good also.
Of course, you're right.
So that is what I'm saying. So if I'm gonna invest in you, you have to have time to invest back in me. If you cannot invest in me, then we just coexist.
Of course. You're right.
You understand?
You're right.
Yes.
You're right. You're right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, trust me, it's been lovely conversation with Octane on his Golden Eye album, which is doing well around the globe. So if you don't have it now, please step online, type his name, Octane, Golden Eye. Either you have a smartphone or either you have anything you have, you understand me, iPhone or smartphone or whatever, just type in and trust me, you're going to find it and support the artist. Everything is being done by himself, not by any record label. You understand me? Unlike how other artists have affiliate and record label this and that, he doesn't have that. He's doing everything independently. You understand me? So it is right that we go out there and support him like the way we're supporting him from Ghana. You know what I mean? You have to wake up and support the artist as well. Now, Octane, my final question, before we say, bye-bye to you. On this album, tell us, which song is your favorite?
This album is like a layer, like an onion, like a layer, like, to be honest, I don't think I have a favorite on this album because driving.
Yeah.
I'm driving today.
Yeah.
And then I might listen God and I. Don't give up on me. Every move I take, stay with me. Them a deal with me up like sea. Don't give them no victory. Everybody when me love cut for me. Them never hate me. Please don't give up on me, oh God. Don't give up on me. So it's like me I repent, tell Father so me sin a lot, but don't give up on me. Me have great things in store.
Yeah.
But then now the next day I might get up and listen to the second track on the album, yes I wake up and have a food and I tell we give thanks to Most High. Yes I God, as a journal. If I wake up and I don't have food and I don't have anything, I still giving thanks because I have the Almighty provided me life. Me still inhale and exhale. And then the next day I might wake up, feel good about my accomplishment, then look in the mirror and say, it's beautiful, ain't ugly no more. Look at me. Look at me. Atras, Ray, and just, I'm market to use to, my responsibility enough. So my riches have enough to, and then I might success, might at least say success coming and, I might, and I love a lot of people was like, yo, acting into yourself and, you know, into people. And I was like, no, me love people. Me alone can't exist. Me love human beings. Me might not like the ways, I like the minds for I know vain and trivial human beings think at times when they have more greater greater effort to put in on earth. But we love human beings. Like Lagazee is in Ghana right now, we in America. This is conversation between two human beings.
Yeah.
But I come to the realization that I love myself more. So I say, I don't hate people, me just love me more and more, more and more. Everything ever see, so can go round that for sure, I'm sure. Sure, when people come in your life, I say them want go, let them go. You understand?
Yeah.
So we might just in that vibe today.
Yeah.
And we might just say, opportunities to no lose me. A last time when I go use me.
Easy.
Right now, myself come first. Lagazee, tell them so yourself come first. Lagazee, you get that dub yet?
Me don't get it yet.
All right, that was your next word. King Lagazee.
Yeah, man, no.
All right, you're getting that dub this week.
All right.
Yeah, man. And make sure you send me the rest of the dub list. Man, I do this
Yeah, man.
for you
Yeah,
this
man.
week.
Yeah, man.
All
Yeah,
right,
man.
so we might in that vibe, or we might just in one vibe, you know what I mean? We might just in a love vibe. Girl, I'm nothing without you in my life, baby. You know what I mean? So it's a different song on the album. Or me might walk with a chip, one for my shoulder, one, you know, come like the real people, them dead and gone, left them round here. You know what I mean? So the album have a different, have all type of dynamics on it, but you see, Don't Give Up on Me is like a testimony to God. So
yeah,
that song will always be a part of my set.
all right.
And you see that song when name Opportunist, me I take this song to my grave with me.
Yeah.
Opportunist is a song where I've sing a lot of songs, but the one I carry to my grave with me, because if you don't wise enough, trust me, you've been used and put on a cross by who you've been used, by who you've been used in you.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Because people don't want to take accountability for their negligence anymore. And but from ever since it was like that, it's just like they televise more. So I will know that I am wrong with you. If you notice how people apologize nowadays, it always have a conjunction in between it. So I will do you something wrong in a Lagazee. But then I will say, yeah, Lagazee, you know, say, I'm my bad, I'm sorry about it, but why me have to say but?
Yes, you're right.
I don't want to take responsibility for my negligence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I am saying, but me a call you and never did answer. That is why me behave that way there. No, that don't justify your action.
Yeah.
If you apologize, mean it and apologize. Or if you're gonna use but, if you're gonna justify why you do it, but yet still apologize, just don't apologize because you don't mean it.
You're right.
You understand?
You're right.
Yes. So, our Lagazee, you know, say, John, I mess up and I never do it, but here we go on. People do me that over the years, and me just not trust people no more. That's why I have to do it that way. Then. No, Lagazee has never done you anything wrong before. Yes, you're supposed to be aware and have a big yard, but your expectation of people is always low. So start it from here, and gradually you grow, and you and the person grow together. But if the person never do you nothing wrong, you can't really use your past to judge that person unless they show you that they're about to do you the same thing. I don't say approach it with caution, but you can't use your past to put on a person that is in the future without that person violating in that way. Just like if you have a girlfriend, like your 2 previous or 3 previous girlfriend, you know, give you a bun or sleep with a next man. Your new girlfriend might not do the same thing, so you can't use that and say she's gonna do the same thing.
Yeah.
As you're not gonna allow her to love you the right way and to show you who she are or who she is. You understand? So,
Definitely.
yeah, that is it.
All right. Octane, I would like to say thank you so much for your time and space and all that. Waking up any morning from the US and say, all right, Lagazee, yo, we have to do this for you, man. Don't worry, man. Everything is everything. And then I told Empress Debbie that, Debbie, go and call Octane and talk to him and tell him so we're ready. And then she come back to me and say, yo, Lagazee, you know, so me I call him and he's not picking up. I say, yo, it is early morning in the US, so don't worry. Octane is gonna be with us on the show, so don't worry. Just go ahead and call him. And then boom, she get through and then she was like, yo, Lagazee, you know, he is ready. Let's set it up. Let's go. And then we are here today. Octane, I would like to say thank you so much. So people, if anybody want to reach out to you, what are your social media handles and all that?
Yes, man. But social media is Real I Octane on Instagram. REALIOCTANE. Real I Octane. Yeah, man. Want to look a blue tick on it? That's it. No, any other Octane on Instagram? Don't. It's not me.
All right.
Right?
All right.
Yes, and TikTok is the same thing. Octane, IOCTANE, one dot Atras, HOTRAS. It's not RASS. That is Atras. If you see that, because that page on TikTok is scamming people. You know what I mean? Going around, sliding in girl messages. Yo, this is Octane and I like it. Can you send me some money? And some girl, oh my God, I love Octane. I send money. Then they say, oh, Octane, I send some money. No, you didn't. No, it wasn't me. So don't do that, please. Don't do that.
All right.
Understand? So, and so that and yeah, you can DM me or send me if you want shows. You can, you know, all the info is on my Instagram page for bookings, and just click the link in my bio in the Instagram page to take you straight to the streaming platform for the album. Yeah, and here more forward to Ghana come tour the album. Yeah, you understand?
Definitely.
The big stadium. And big up everybody in Ghana. Big up all of the artists them in Ghana. Big up Shatta Wally. Big up Stone Boy. You know what I mean? Big up every upcoming artist. You know what I mean? Big up all of the artists them in Ghana. Big up every youth, every ghetto youth who are listening to this interview. You know what I mean? And King Lagazee.
Respect.
You don't know, big up a producer, King Lagazee, you know a thing already, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Lagazee say himself come first. King Lagazee say themself come first. King Lagazee say himself come first. Lagazee tell them, up on Jonas on the last way. Woof. And last time when I go yours way. Lagazee say himself come first. King Lagazee say himself come first. Lagazee big dubs come first. Boy violate we put that in the earth. King Lagazee big dubs come first. Sound this them that go burst. Jump on the clash I go lose it. From your this Lagazee yo we short it. Yo Lagazee big dubs come first. But set back and put boy in a earth. He's out.
Yo! Okay, pick up yourself, man. I thank you so much for your time and space. Trust me, it is not going to be the end.
Thanks.
It is not going to be the end. We'll continue to push this artist to the fullest. You understand me? All promoters in Ghana, you heard Octane saying that he is ready. He would love to come to Ghana. He's one of the hottest, you know, artists them way perform on stage, and you see he can look in at the crowd and call, you know, a mumpy girl and come on stage and hot rascal and carry the
nice of a place, man.
Yo,
nice of a place, man. I know me have hits up and hits song in Ghana. So,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So he is ready. So people, anybody who is ready, you can link me. I'm just a phone call away from Octane, or you can link him via, you know, TikTok or Instagram.
Link King Lagazee. If you want to book me in Ghana, link King Lagazee.
Pow. Octane, thank you so
King
much.
King Lagazee, representative in Ghana. So one phone call.
You don't know, man. Straight away.
Yeah, man. One phone call, man.
Yeah, man. So people, go out there and support Octane new album, God and I.